Hey everybody, this is Eddie J on Crypto. Hope you're having a great day. I apologize now. I released two videos earlier and neither one of them had sound. But I've made corrections, I've shot another short, and I'm shooting this video, and they both do have sound. Anyway, let's dig in. We did get the CPI numbers today. The CPI numbers reflected that the market is a little bit hotter than expected, so everything bumped up a little bit. And I'll show you the numbers when we get into it a little bit later. So the market took a little bit of a dive today. Cryptoverse took a little bit of a dive today, but not as much as I would have thought. So we'll see how that pans out. Now, the U.S. Treasury is looking for public input about the benefits and risks of cryptocurrencies. That's actually a really big deal because they're looking for guidance from the public, and that they'll be able to use that information to create a gauge on what kinds of regulations, how far the regulations should go, and get some opinions, some differing opinions, so that they have more information to work with. I'm not mad about that. Let's see where it goes from there. Now, a little bit of a debate. Michael Saylor believes that Ethereum and other cryptocurrencies are actually securities because they had initial coin offerings, as well as there are centralized teams that manage the cryptocurrency itself. Now, with some cryptocurrencies, that may be true. With others, there's a centralized development team, right? But they don't make the decisions because they put the decision out to the public and the public can vote. So in that case, I don't agree that I would consider those securities. Of course, I'm not a regulator, so what I think doesn't matter. But that's something to contemplate as you move forward. I think Michael Saylor brings up a good point. He's basically saying, hey, look, listen, not everything is a commodity. Not everything is a security. We're going to have to look at things on a case-by-case basis, straight up. Celsius, wow. No matter what kind of good they do, they just can't seem to get out of their own way. So they sold about 400,000, I believe it's 400,000 staked Ethereum to Coinbase, raising over $416 million. Took some of that, paid down debt. It's about, I think their debt now is about 50 million. So that's good stuff, right? However, the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation says that Celsius was engaged in an unregistered securities. That's a problem. The Vermont DFR also believes that Celsius is insolvent. Those are really big statements. Something else that was bad that happened is Dixon is the largest shareholder of Celsius, and he offered them a $6 billion bailout. Guess who didn't get the bailout? And the reason why is because they were not transparent on their finances. And that's a very, very big deal. Now, if I'm looking at Celsius, I'm not looking at Celsius in terms of, what they've done. I am looking at them in terms of what they've done, but I'm taking that information and comparing that to other projects. Who are the people that are involved in those projects? What's their track record? So, like I say, I wouldn't want to deal with Tron because I don't like their management, right? I don't like, they make me feel like they're fishy. So I'm like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. No matter what kind of opportunities I see with Tron, not putting my money over there, I just don't feel good about it. And when you do your own research, that's what you might find. You might see an opportunity, but it might not be right for you. That is the point. Anyway, let's get into the numbers because I think those are going to be telling today. So like I said, CPI came out and is a little bit hotter than what people expected. If you look at core CPI, it was 5.9. In actuality, 5.7 was expected. If you look at the consumer price index on a monthly basis, we bumped up 1.3% as opposed to 1.1. So you're off by that little bit of a percentage. And, if you look at the year over year, it's 9.1 versus 8.8. So again, those slight differences made a difference, and it sent the stock market kind of in not such a great direction. But slow down. If you look at charts, you might actually see that it seems to be peaking. Remember, The CPI numbers are backward looking. And if you look at what's going on right now, you can see that there are all kinds of things that are going on. Real estate market is cooling off. Just things are starting to make small changes, right? Something else to consider is Powell is probably going to say, you know what? We're going to do 75 basis points now, and we'll do 75 basis points in September. That's what people are really thinking. 75 is going to be the hit in September. If that happens, that can actually be a very good thing for the markets, a very good thing for inflation at that point. So just keep your eyes open, do your own research, and catch a rhythm on everything that's going on. There are definitely signs that the economy is slowing and kind of cooling off. Slowly, but it looks like there are signs. Now, the fear and greed index has gone down to 15. Not happy about it. It was at 24 a couple of days ago. Now it's at 15. I'm not going to stress about it. Still in deep fear, extreme fear, but I think there's pent up energy, and I still think that there are good things going on. Now, TVL has taken a little bit of a hit, but it's still in the 70s, so I'm all right with that. I also realize that total value locked is going to be looked at differently because you have major banks and financial institutions that are going to be entering the market with different kinds of real world assets to be used in liquidity pools. That is going to be a very big deal, and it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Now, looking at Bitcoin, you can tell off of my just tiny little chart right here where it dipped below in a major way, even hitting the 18,000s, came back down below my lower level of my inner band. Now, I'm not upset about that, and you can see it's kind of dipping down again, but seems to be fighting back. So that little blip that we got from the CPI numbers, it was immediate, but it wasn't as big as I thought. That's what I find to be interesting. It wasn't as big a hit with, the stock market, and it wasn't that big of a hit here now with, cryptocurrencies, especially Bitcoin. So that being said, this one always takes a long time. I don't know why. It used to just pop up all the time before. But it happens. It's all good. So we'll look at this for the moment. Look to see how things are basically coming back, kind of riding along zero for the past hour. For the past 24 hours, Uniswap is up, Polygon is up. So you start to realize, well, there are still opportunities, there are still things going on, and there are things that I can take advantage of, as well as I keep saying it almost every day, none of these coins, none of these projects are near their all-time highs. So everything is still at a discount. If you're looking at a long-term kind of purchase, then you're not worried about, a few pennies being off by a few pennies when you make your purchase. If you're looking to trade, on a daily, weekly basis, then yes, you're going to probably pay attention to those pennies, and you're going to look at opportunities like this as, well, things popped up, I might have missed it, or I might have shaved off my profit. Here's another opportunity to get in as things have come back down. Just a thought. To get a broader picture, you can see Ethereum is down, Bitcoin is down. I expect them to actually come up. I expect Ethereum to come back up to the, above 1100. I'd be happy with that. Or at least close to it. Bitcoin, I'd like to see it get back to 20. I don't know if it will, but we'll see. It happens, right? So when I'm looking at these things, I'm looking at all of these opportunities, whether it be near term, midterm, long term, right? When I do my research, I'm looking at those three buckets, and I'm trying to draw a line from each project, as they say, something that affects them now, something that will affect them in the near future, and something that will affect them, further down the road. The reason why is because I'm looking for anything that will give me a kind of rhythm. So right now, if you look at Polygon, they've been dropping little things that are saying we're doing stuff now, and we've got stuff in the future. We've got stuff longer term in the future. We're in motion. So pay attention to those things, all right? Now, something I'm going to touch on real quick. One of the guys from 3 Hours Capital came out, and he dropped a Twitter tweet a Twitter tweet. I sound like an idiot. He dropped a tweet basically just spewing everything, and I'm just like, oh, okay. So I haven't had time to unpack that. You might want to go take a look at it. It's the 3 hours capital piece. Go take a look. You might find some things that are interesting. Anyway, this is Eddie J on Crypto. If you like what I'm doing, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and absolutely hit the notification bell so you know when I'm dropping a new video. Have a good day.